Hello everyone, welcome to Rockstar Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we're going to continue our unboxing series for Marvel United X-Men by doing essentially a double feature unboxing. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Gold Team expansion as well as the Blue Team expansion from Marvel United X-Men. As far as these team compositions go and these boxes go, essentially, and we'll take a look at that once we actually get into the unboxing, but essentially these two boxes are the same as far as certain gameplay components. They both introduce a team versus team mode to the game. However, the characters that are in the boxes and the villains that are in the boxes are completely different. So as far as that goes, you're getting a different experience. But as far as the team versus team mode go, either box will get you that team versus team modes. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this. We're going to take a look at these separately. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Gold Team, and then we're going to go ahead and start with Blue Team. So we're going to put Blue Team off to the side over here, not going to worry about, and we're going to take a look at Gold Team first. There is the box right there for Gold Team, and we do have a bunch of mainstay X-Men on this box. We've got Colossus right here, Bishop, Iceman, Archangel, and we have Sebastian Shaw, the villain, for our box. If we do flip it over right here, you will notice some things. If you bought this box at retail, if you're going to buy this box at retail through like Amazon or your local game shop and everything, there's something you do want to take a look out for, check out for. We do have all of our characters shown here, but we do have one extra character on the side and a picture of him. That is because this is the Kickstarter exclusive version, and it does include Forge in the game. That character is not in the retail exclusive box. There's also a retail exclusive character in Blue Team. We'll get to that once we take a look at that. But let's go ahead and flip this back over, and we will go ahead and open up the box and place it right there. First thing we do have in here, that is again another similar component or same component that's going to be in both boxes, is we do have the rule book. The rule book is different from the rule book in the other box, we'll see, because it just shows different characters on this side, but essentially the rules are the exact same. So we take this out, it shows our components right here. These are going to be the components exclusive to this box, as well as the villain dashboard here, and the locations are exclusive to this box, whereas all these items here are going to be the same in both. It does go over the rules for team versus team mode and setup, winning and losing, villain turn, hero turn, all those sorts of things. Team missions right here, all of the various special rules, accelerated villain challenge, special compatibility rules with supervillain mode, challenges, and how to use all the various villains in this team versus team mode, if they need to have any special rules, all that kind of stuff, and then a list of all the villains who are not compatible with team versus team mode. So that is what we've got right there. We'll place those instructions right there, and we'll get into the components of the actual box. So this is our punch board. It does have our generic BAM tokens here. It has the lock tokens for the other dashboard that will be in the game, as well as this double-sided initiative token right here. So that is what we have right there. So we'll place that again off to the side, and then we do have our team versus team damage dashboard right here. It looks like this on this side, and on the other side it does look like this, and you can kind of see these correspond to the some other cards we have in the game that you unlock them as you go through. So we've got that. Then we've got Sebastian Shaw's dashboard right here with his special setup if you're using super villain mode, and there is the rest of his information right there when you are playing against him. Again, place that right there. He's also going to have specific locations for X-Men Gold Team right here, and as we flip them over, we do get the Hellfire Club building, we get Limbo, we get Krakoa, we get Chandelier, which is in the Shi'ar Empire. I believe it's the throne world of the Shi'ar Empire, and that is going to be our 4 locations in the game. As you can already see, I have opened the game up when I first got this, because I've had this for a while. I've had this since before the channel started, just now getting around to unboxing, because I never actually went through and unboxed this stuff on camera while we're waiting for other stuff to come in. So as far as other components go right here, we do have our 6 bases, 3 in each color for blue team and gold team. Again, similar component to what is in the blue team box. And then after that, we do have our deck of cards right here, which has all of our team members as well as some other cards. First, what we're going to do though is we're going to place all the individual player cards there, and we're going to take a look at these cards. We do have new clear threats cards right here. So as you can see, we have 2 different threats right there, and for the clear threats, we do have that we're only getting 5 civilians on this side and defeat thugs, 5 civilians on this side. These are specific to gold team right here, as you can see from the borders. And then over here, we do have the exact same cards that we have for blue team. So each of the teams is going to be going after the very similar threats and whatnot, trying to get to the point where they can take on the villain. Again, we're not going to go through the rules in this one. That'll be in a later video. We actually do some gameplay of these scenarios on the channel. So if you haven't yet, I would go ahead and subscribe and make sure to hit the notification bell so you know when those videos are going to be released. Last thing we have in the deck as far as that goes, as far as non-player cards go, is the Accelerated Villain Challenge card right here. This is the gold team specific one. I believe they're both the same, just one is specific for the gold team box, one is specific to the blue team box. So we'll go ahead and place all of these things right over here, so they're out of our immediate way right there. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look at the various cards. So again, we've got our heroes in this box. We've got Forge, we've got Bishop right here, we've got Archangel, we've got Iceman, and then we have Colossus right there, and then we've got Shaw's villain deck. Let's go ahead and take a look at Colossus. First, there is his card back with his starting hand card. There's examples of all his various artwork right there, and then finally we get to Fastball Special, which is this card right here. Has a movement on the bottom. Move another hero from your location to an adjacent location. That hero shows their hand and deals as many punches there as shown at the bottom of their card. So we do have, looks like 3 of those in his deck. And then finally for the starting hand card, we have Organic Steel Body. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, you may ignore 1 damage during each villain turn. So that is pretty cool right there. Has a punch on the bottom of that. So that is going to be Colossus right there with his starting hand card in his deck. We go ahead and move over to Iceman, not first class Iceman, but just regular Iceman. There again is some more artwork right there for his cards. And then we finally get to his actual special cards. We've got Cryokinesis. Attach a stun token to a villain or henchman in your location. Next villain turn, their BAM is canceled and the token is discarded. So that is that card right there. Both versions of it having a heroic action on it. And then we've got Organic Ice Body, one with a heroic action and one, as you can see down here, with a punch on it. You cannot take any damage until the beginning of your next turn. So that is always nice right there. So that is going to be Iceman's deck. Then we get to Archangel, not the version of Death that is in the Apocalypse box that we have already seen, but this is going to be the heroic version that he was during the last stint that they were in X Factor, then moving on to Uncanny X-Men during the classic blue team, gold team run. So we'll go ahead and take a look at his artwork. We do have wing shielding right here. Looks like he's got 2 copies of that, both with a movement. You cannot take any damage until the beginning of your next turn. So we've got that. So very similar to we're getting Ice Body over there. And then we've got Techno-Organic Wings with a movement, triple punch in an adjacent location. So basically shooting those feathers out at enemies in adjacent locations, as is done in the comic books. Then we've got our Time Displaced X-Man. Move that card over there. Time Displaced X-Man Bishop right here. There's his card artwork. And then he's got his starting hand card, Energy Resistance. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, you cannot take any damage dealt from adjacent locations. So there is that one right there. And then he does have a couple of energy absorptions. It's got 3 of those. Gain 1 punch token. You may ignore 1 damage until the beginning of your next turn, and all those, I believe, have heroic actions on it. So all the specials of most of the characters in Gold Team, very much having some kind of like damage mitigation factor in there. So there is that. So the next deck of cards we're going to take a look at is Forge, which is the exclusive character for this box. There is, again, some of his artwork. Let's go ahead and take a look at his specials. We've got Intuitive Genius. He does have, looks like 2 of those in his deck right there with heroic actions. This turn, for each heroic action you use to clear threats, place 2 heroic actions. So there is that. So, what's it? This turn, for each heroic action you use to clear threats, place 2 heroic actions. So basically, being able to deal with heroics a lot faster. And then Spirit Sight with a wild on the bottom. Pick another location. This turn, you may use heroic and punch there. So there is that right there. So that is going to be Forge's deck right there. And then we're going to go ahead and get into Sebastian Shaw. So the first thing we're going to take a look at are his threats. He does have a bunch of different members of the Inner Circle in his, or Hellfire Club, however you want to talk about it. I always refer to it sometimes as the Inner Circle because that's what we were forced to call it back during the original X-Men animated series, but it is the Hellfire Club. So we do have Emma Frost technically there as the White Queen, and then we have the White King, and then we have the White Rook. And then this looks like Jean Grey, but I don't think it is her, but we have the Black Queen right there. And then we've got Black Bishop right there. And then finally we have, I believe, Mastermind as the Black Rook. So those are all the threat cards for Shaw right there. And let's go ahead and take a look at Shaw's deck. So he's got a lot of bamming, a lot of moving around, as always. Placing a few, anywhere from just 1 thug in some zones to 1 to 2 per card, or 2, 1, 2, or whatever you want to do it, whatever combination you got there. And he does have a lot of just putting out bad guys. I think it's mostly bad guys he's putting out, thugs he's putting out there. Not really as many civilians in there. Then he's got Hellfire Club Deception. Give each hero 1 crisis token with his BAMs there. And then we're going to have Hellfire Club Power, 2 copies of that. Return all henchmen still in play to their starting health value. Any henchmen already at full health, resolve their BAM gain instead. So he's basically going to like recharge his different minions and whatnot. So that is going to be a pretty difficult threat to have to deal with. So let's go ahead and now take a look at the figures for this box. So we'll go ahead and start with Shaw, since he was the last one we talked about. This is our villain for this box, looking all villainy and everything right there. Pretty good sculpt. And then let's go ahead and go down to Mr. Lucas Bishop right here. That is pretty nice right there. One of my favorites in this box, Iceman, just because of that clear plastic they were able to use for him to make him look all icy and everything. They didn't use the same like clear plastic for him in First Class. I don't remember if I talked about it in that video or not, but I know part of the reason, hopefully that part of the reason why they didn't do that is because technically in the comics he was a snowman, not an Iceman, in those first issues and whatnot. It wasn't until much later where they started depicting him as like almost see-through icy in those comics. So there is that. Here's our Kickstarter exclusive Forge right here. Sporting a larger gun there than Bishop, but looking all cool right there. Then we've got Colossus, the big boy in the box, right there. And then we've got Archangel, probably the most intricate / my favorite character in this box, the way things look in there. So that is everything in the Gold Team box. Again, I like this box a lot. I like the characters in it and everything. Me watching the cartoon early on, before I started getting into the actual comic books, these characters, though there's 2 original X-Men in the box, these characters to me were more like secondary characters because none of these guys were actually main characters on the original X-Men animated series. They were main characters. This was the main team with Storm and Jean Grey in Uncanny X-Men, starting with 281 when they started the Gold Team, Blue Team thing. But these guys, to me, and even still now, are kind of like secondary characters, unfortunately. Though I like Colossus and Archangel is pretty awesome. These guys are secondary because they were always guest star characters on the animated series. So I'm going to go clean this up in the magic editing. You won't see it, and we'll go ahead and take a look at Blue Team. And next we have the Blue Team box. We've got Gambit, Rogue, we've got Jubilee, Psylocke, and then we also have Mr. Sinister looking all sinistery on the box cover. Like I said just a few minutes ago, if Gold Team for me, just because of the X-Men animated series influence, is kind of like the secondary guys, the guest star guys, this is definitely the box for like the main characters, just because of the fact we got Gambit and Rogue were main characters in the X-Men animated series, as was Jubilee. Sinister being a primary villain of season 2, Shaw being kind of just there for 1 or 2 episodes of the Phoenix Saga, but Sinister was an entire season dedicated to him on that show, and doing other things later on in other series. Not going to spoil more modern series for people. And then Psylocke right there rounding out the team. We go ahead and flip over to the back. Again, differences in the back is that right here and here we do see the depiction of Banshee, because he is going to be our Kickstarter exclusive figure in this box. If you bought this box from retail, I believe Rogue is sitting there in the place of Banshee on the box art there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the interior of the box. Now, this again is depicting the Blue Team from the early 90s X-Men #1 when they did split off into Blue Team, Gold Team. As I said, I think Uncanny, it was 281 was the first issue with Gold Team, and then X-Men #1 launched the same month and was the first showing of the Blue Team. So I was gonna not throw this away, I was gonna put this away, but as you can see, this is our rule book. Again, if you go through here, the text and everything is the same. Some of the pictures are slightly different, like with the team configurations here, but these are essentially the exact same rules found in the Gold Team box. This punch board of tokens, though these locks and the BAMs and the initiative token are the same, these genetic tokens right here, DNA sample tokens, are specific to Sinister. Shaw apparently doesn't have any tokens that he uses. Sinister does have tokens, so that is why those are there. And the thing I didn't show earlier is that the initiative token, though being blue there, is yellow on this side. So there is that. We'll place that off to the side. Again, dashboard, or not dashboard, the damage dashboard is going to be the same here and there. So again, that's another component that is the same from both boxes. What is different, though, starting now, is we do have Mr. Sinister right there. He does have a special setup of distributing 12 DNA sample tokens equally among the heroes, and then his rules for supervillain mode, and his actual card information right there on the other side. So that is pretty cool. We'll place that right there. Next thing we do have is the locations from Blue Team right here. It says Blue Team right there. It says Blue Team right there. We flip them over. We do get the Excalibur Lighthouse, which unfortunately is what led me to believe that we were not getting boxes for every team in this game. Would have loved for all the various boxes. Kind of similar to Season 1 of Marvel United, because already I think when this was on the original Kickstarter like campaign, they showed the Apocalypse box, of course, but the first box they showed was First Class. Then the next expansion box they showed was Blue Team, Gold Team. So I was really hoping that they would have done an X Factor box, a Generation X box, and an Excalibur box. But as soon as we saw the Excalibur Lighthouse, I knew that wasn't happening. But there is Excalibur Lighthouse right there. We get the Savage Land right here. We have Madripoor, which I believe draw one card if possible. Then you must discard one card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. So this is one of the interesting, because Gold Team doesn't have essentially negative effect locations like Blue Team does. Mojo Verse, end of turn, if you perform 3 or more heroic / punches here this turn, you may gain 1 wild token. If you did not, you must discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. So again, a lot of discarding cards in Blue Team right here. So we'll place that there. Then we'll go ahead and take a look at the inside of the box. Again, we do have the bases right here. That is, again, something else that's common between both games. If we go and take a look at our cards and go to the back past Sinister, we do have the same clear threats for both Blue and Gold Team. And then the challenge is, again, the accelerated villain challenge. Main difference, I believe, on here is that it is blue on this card and gold on the other card. So let's go ahead and take a look at our actual heroes. So again, as I said, we do have Banshee here, which is going to be our exclusive character. We've got Gambit right there, which we have used in a gameplay here on the channel, as well as Rogue on another gameplay that we did on the channel. Then we have Jubilation Lee right there, and then finally rounding out the heroes in this box, we do have Psylocke, and I will for the moment put Sinister's cards right there. I'm going to go ahead and start with Psylocke first. There is her card art looking all ninja-y right there. We flip it over, we get some various artwork of Psylocke right here. She does have Psionic Blast, looks like a couple of copies, 2 copies of that one right there. Attach a stun token to a villain or henchman in your location. Next villain turn, their BAM is canceled and the token is discarded. So we've got 2 of those, and then it looks like we've got a couple of telepathies right here. Swap the previous hero card in the storyline with any other hero card in the storyline. So a lot of storyline switching, I believe, in this box. We'll go ahead and double check that in a second, because I know Rogue's got some stuff I think she messes with the storyline too. We've got Jubilee right here. There's her artwork sporting her classic yellow trench coat that she had in the old 90s series. Psionic Shields. Ignore the direct effects of the next villain BAM that would affect you. It can still affect other heroes. So we got that going on right there. And then she's got Explosive Light Blast. Punch against up to 3 different targets in your location. So that's pretty good for taking out some thugs. So that's what we got right there. Jubilee. Then we've got Rogue. So doing all sorts of Rogue things right there, getting all angry right here, flying through the air. And then we get down to her actual special abilities. She's got ability Absorption right here. This one has a heroic. She's got another one here that has a punch. Use the special effect of another hero's face-up card in the storyline at the end of your turn. Turn that card face down, so that basically you can't keep reusing that card over and over again with the other ability Absorption. Then we got Power Absorption. Again, one with a heroic, one with a punch. Use the action symbols at the bottom of another hero's face-up card in the storyline at the end of your turn. Turn that card face down. So we've got that going on for us there with Rogue, placing her down. Then we get to Gambit. Make sure you remember it. He's going to have his very Gambit-y artwork right here. I do actually really like this one right here. That's a really nice picture it's got going on here. Molecular Acceleration. Discard any action token to punch in an adjacent location. So that's pretty good, especially if the villain is able to be punched and he is right next to you. Then we've got Master Thief. Gain 1 token and take 1 action token of your choice from each other hero. So that is a pretty cool card right there. So that is going to be all of Gambit's specials. And then finally we get over here to Sean Cassidy, the Banshee. So he's going to have some very Banshee artwork right there using his powers. And he's going to have Stunning Waves. Attach a stun token to a villain or henchman in your location. Next villain turn, their BAM is canceled and the token is discarded. So that's nice, trying to get rid of their BAMs. Always good. Sonic Blast, Punch in an adjacent location. So that is pretty cool. So this box right here, we've got a lot of doing things in other locations. We've got using other cards and storylines. That is really nice all-around box right there. And then let's go ahead and get over to Mr. Sinister. First, we'll take a look at Sinister's threats, and we've got heroes starting their turn in this location must play their hero card randomly. So we've got 2 copies of this manipulation right here. And then we're going to have 2 copies of Telepathy. Heroes starting their turn in this location treat all special effects on their cards as blank until the beginning of their next turn. That's never good. And then finally, Morphing. Mr. Sinister cannot take any damage as long as this threat is in play. So a lot of things that the players and heroes are going to have to deal with in this deck. Going to be very difficult. Mr. Sinister right here is going to have some bamming going on, some other bamming going on. He's got a lot of bams in his deck. Move clockwise to the next location with a hero with DNA sample tokens, so be on the lookout for that. And then Master, whoa, no, we skipped a card. We have Master Geneticist. Take 1 DNA sample token from each hero in Mr. Sinister's location. So he's got to deal with that. And then this one right here, Master Manipulator. All heroes with 2 or more cards in hand must discard their hand. They aren't KO'd and draw back 1 less card. So that is going to be Sinister's Master Plan deck. Let's go ahead and take a look at the various characters. So we've got a lot of capes in this box, essentially. So we got Jubilee in her little pink, yellow trench coat right there, looking pretty cool, like the sunglasses on top of her head there. Then we've got Psylocke right here with both her katana and her psychic knife. So that looks pretty cool. Her belt flying like a ribbon on the back of her there. Then we've got the big bad himself. Very intricate figure here. We've got Mr. Sinister. My camera's not really doing it justice. This is a very nice figure. You can see all the detail on the back as well. So that is pretty cool right there. We'll go ahead and start back down here. We've got Banshee, again, with his weird cape that he's got there. So that's Banshee. And then we've got Rogue right here. And then finally we've got your boy Gambit right there. So as far as heroes go, for me it's a draw between Gambit and Psylocke. I would say Sinister definitely takes this box for me. So that is everything in Marvel United X-Men Gold Team and Blue Team. Like I said, these expansions are available for retail. You can find them online. You can find them probably in your local game shop and everything. Again, the Kickstarter version of this will have Banshee. The Kickstarter version of Gold Team will have Forge. If you're buying them retail, local comic shop might have the Kickstarter version. Online, all that stuff will not have those. So just make sure you know what you're looking for and what you're buying when you order your stuff. With that said, I do hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing. We will be unboxing the rest of Marvel United X-Men very soon as we anticipate getting Marvel United Multiverse, and we'll do that unboxing series as well as soon as that comes in. But I wanted to go ahead and finish these because I never finished these. We did season 1, but we're going to go ahead and finish out season 2 very quickly here within the next couple of weeks. So if you guys enjoyed that, please let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what your favorite character was in these 2 boxes. If you have not already, make sure to hit the notification bell so that way you are alerted when the next video in this series is out. And if you haven't yet, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Want to continue to grow this channel and make it the best it can. Need your guys' support to do that. With all that said, I have been Eric. This has been Rockshare Gaming. This has been an unboxing of Marvel United X-Men expansions. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.